edge banding with a cordless iron, and more. Coming up. Before that other Don shows up and catches me ironing, yes, I'm ironing. I'm putting on some edge banding with an iron that I really enjoy using. It's actually cordless. Step 1 is to cut a piece of edge banding that's slightly longer than your board. Step 2 is to iron the edge banding on using a hot iron and pressure. Make sure the edges stick out evenly on both sides of your board. Oh my goodness, now he's ironing. Huh. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Sometimes it's best to just ignore him. Step 3 is optional. This is one I've added recently. I'm pressing a roller over the edge banding to make sure it's attached firmly. Step 4 is to cut the ends of the edge banding flush with the ends of your board. You could do this with clippers like I'm doing, a razor blade, or something else sharp that will cut through the edge banding. Step 5 is to trim the excess edge banding flush with the sides of your board. You could use one of these edge banding trimmers from FastCap or some other tool like maybe a razor blade. Step 6 is to sand the edges of the edge banding and get the excess glue off. I'm using one of my prepping weapons, but any sanding block will work just fine. If you're at all interested in these prepping weapons, I did a video about them. Well, that looks good and it really feels good. Well, thank you. Do you want to drill the pocket holes? I'm out of here. Don't forget to watch the pocket hole video. Oh, great. Now I've got the other Don promoting the videos that he's in. Yes, since he brought it up, I am doing a video on pocket holes, and he's in it. It's a little bit about the history of pocket holes and what people think about them. It should be kind of an interesting topic, although it's one that some people don't like to discuss. Here's a more detailed description of the process of edge banding. I'm using a roll of oak edge banding for this project. In the past, I've had problems with these things unrolling, so I added a twist tie, and this has really helped out a lot. When the roll gets smaller, I just tighten the twist tie. This style of edge banding has heat-activated glue on the back. In order to cut the banding, I bought this flush cut diagonal cutter from FastCap. It's made specifically for that purpose. It's better than using a razor blade like I used to use. This is what it looks like in use. The back side of the cutter is flush, so it fits flat against the wood to make a straight cut. Like most tools from FastCap, it's really well made. Recently, I bought this roller. I used that to roll over the strips after the iron to make sure that they're firmly attached to the piece of wood. It's just an inexpensive roller that I found on Amazon. This blue tool is an edge trimmer made by FastCap. It has blades on both sides that cut off the excess trim on the edge banding. The edge banding that sticks out beyond the piece of wood goes through this little groove. Here's some shots of the edge trimmer in action. Notice that it trims in both directions. This is what the cutting blades look like from the outside of the edge trimmer. The open space on both sides of the blades allows the excess trim to exit the tool. Here's a shot of that happening. This is some of that excess trim that came off the cutter. I use one of my prepping weapons to smooth off the edges and get rid of the excess glue. FastCap has a tool that they suggest that you buy called a Fastbreak that breaks the edges. Sandpaper is slipped up underneath this tool and it creates a 45-degree chamfer along the edges of the edge banding. Maybe someday I'll get one of those, but for now, my prepping weapons work just fine. Now for the main tool in this process, and that's my cordless iron. The iron I'm using is an Auric. I'm sure there's others that are on the market today. In fact, I don't even know if Auric still makes these irons. This iron fits in a base with a cord attached to it. The cord is necessary to heat up the iron, but as shown here, the iron can be removed from the base without the cord attached to it. A switch in the back of the base will also allow the iron to be used as a corded iron. When that switch is moved to the center position, the iron and the cord become part of the base and cannot be removed from the base. Now I've switched the iron back to the cordless position so that I can use it on my project. This iron is just like any other iron these days. It has a lot of different features that I won't be using. Here I'm resetting the reset button and it's showing that the iron is heating up. I set the iron at its highest temperature to do my edge banding. I thought I'd throw in a funny story as to how I ended up with this fancy iron in my shop. Years ago, my wife wanted a new vacuum for the house, and she'd seen this Auric brand and heard a lot about it, and decided to buy one of those. Part of the deal was this iron. And I thought that'd be great for them because it doesn't have cord to get in the way when they iron. But I guess it was too heavy or something, and my wife and my mother-in-law, who does most of our ironing, just didn't like it at all. I said, that's fine with me. I'll just take it out to the shop and use it for edge banding. So that's what I've used it for ever since. This is a nice iron for this. I don't know if they still make these or not. I did notice on Amazon that there are quite a few different brands of cordless irons or irons that work like this. Check into it. Be something good for the shop if you do a lot of edge banding and use an iron. If you like this video, remember to click on that thumbs up down below. Ask any questions, make comments. I love reading your questions and comments and responding to them. If you have other friends that are woodworkers or you're in a woodworking group and you think someone can benefit from this video or one of my other videos, please share it. That's the way the word gets spread, is word of mouth. I greatly appreciate those that have subscribed to our channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe today. And if you have subscribed, ring that notification bell. Then you get notification of videos that I put out, and I have quite a few that are coming up. And thank you all very much for watching.